I can't think of a better place to talk to you about public speaking than here at our favorite place on the planet, our cabin in Bear Lake. I've chosen a couple of props. The first one is Cinnamon, my favorite black bear, and his new little habitat. Oh, I got to show you this other bear. It's right over here. This is Grizz. You know, sometimes public speaking feels a little bit like we're getting ready to wrestle a grizzly bear and we're just scared to death, when in fact, it's a stuffed animal. It's harmless. It's beautiful. And so is the experience of speaking when we understand how to do it. Now, we want to send you through a program called Speaking from the Heart. This was developed by famous Dave Anderson. Famous Dave from Famous Dave Barbecue. He spent $2 million designing this training. His son James is one of the exclusive presenters of this training. You'll go through 2 days, and the purpose of these 2 days is to face your grizzly bears, your fears, your doubts, to finally break outside of yourself. And once you're in that space, then Kat and Paul and I want to take you under our wing and walk you through the process of crafting a keynote speech, perfecting that speech, and then delivering it on a live stage to a large audience. When I think about this process, where I want to focus with you is the preparation for what happens before you go on stage. I remember a couple of those moments. One happened a few years ago. I'm sitting at my desk. I'm going to be speaking in about 10 days. And I'm reflecting on the audience. And I begin to practice a technique I want to share with you called mental rehearsal and how to apply it to speaking. I was going through the process, and it was as if I were on the stage, and I had this impression. I could feel somebody in the audience who had spent their last dime to get there and didn't even know how they were going to get home. And I paused. And remember, I'm mentally rehearsing. I paused, and I shared with them what I was feeling, and I said, "Are you here?" And a lady a third of the way back on my right-hand side stood up. I invited her to the stage, and I gave her my coaching program, and I said, if you will use this, commit to this, you'll get the answers you're looking for. And I gave it to her, very tearful. And then I kind of came to from the exercise. I had very real tears dripping down my cheeks. I've learned to trust those impressions. 10 days later, I'm on the stage, and I get that feeling, and I stopped. And I said, 10 days ago, I was sitting at my desk, and this is what happened. I want to teach you how to use truth to connect with people. And I shared what happened then, and I said, "Are you here?" And guess what? A third of the way back on the right-hand side, she stood up. I invited her up to the stage. I gave her my coaching program. It was a tearful moment. We hugged each other. You could hear a pin drop. It was not only a very wonderful experience for me, we were able to serve a lot of people after that event, to bless their lives. They could feel where we were coming from. One more quick story. I was in Prague, and I'm getting ready to speak. And in Czechoslovakia, they say that they do business by elbows. After the Iron Curtain fell, all the opportunists came into town. It's brutal, no heart. But I felt something different. But I didn't quite trust what I was feeling until 4:30 the morning before. I practiced this same process, which I want to show you how to do. And I was carried away, and I was scuba diving in a cave. Headlamp, only source of light. Looked down, I could see a city in the bottom of this cave. I came around a corner, and all of a sudden I had this surge of anxiety. Something similar I experienced when I was diving with sharks and ran out of air. The cortisol surge. And I came to, and I went, whoa, what was that? Strong impression. Share the dream verbatim tonight is the opening comment to your speech. Got there that night, took the stage, turned to the translator and said, "Translate this with exactness." And I told the story. I got the next impression. I want to teach you how to listen. Even when you're on stage, in the middle of a speech, listen. And then have the courage to speak what you hear. Ask them if they feel like they are suffocating. I asked. Those who could speak English went just like this. This was a standing room only, room full of people. Translator finished translating and the rest of the hands went up. It was like everyone. Impression. Tell them you're here to show them how to get out. And for the next hour and a half, we talked about correct principles in a way we seldom get to teach them to hearts that are totally open. When it was done, was there standing ovation? Yes, but it wasn't for the standing ovation. It wasn't about them liking me. It was about them being empowered. Those individuals wanting to go home and be better people. We want to show you how to create a speech in that space, from your own life experiences, from the inspiration that will come to you, so that you too can stand on a stage and not have any anxiety at all. It's not about you. You're not wrestling the bears anymore. They're just beautiful stuffed animals. Beautiful stuffed animals. Totally available to hear, courageously speak, and change lives. Join us. Let us serve you, starting with speaking from the heart, and then become a Keynote master.